Hey everybody! Today I'm going to review How to Train Your Dragon 3, The Hidden World. We have now entered the third and final installment of the How to Train Your Dragon franchise. I really had a good time watching the How to Train Your Dragon films, even though I have not seen the spin-off TV series. The first one was great, the second one was fantastic, and the best of the entire How to Train Your Dragon franchise. In my opinion, How to Train Your Dragon is my second favorite franchise from DreamWorks Animation after Kung Fu Panda. So with the first two How to Train Dragon films being a critical and commercial success, I became very surprised yet excited to hear that the How to Train Dragon movie is going to become a trilogy. This also marks DreamWorks' first animated film to be distributed by Universal Pictures, since Universal had officially bought the rights for DreamWorks. I finally saw it, and it's fantastic. The most beautiful looking animated film I had ever seen, and I'm going to tell you why I love this movie without any spoilers. The story of this film took place 1 year after the events of How to Train Your Dragon 2. It starts off where Hiccup, Toothless, and their fellow dragon riders have continued to rescue the captured dragons from the evil dragon trappers. Their mission was a success, so Hiccup and his friends have returned to their home island Berk, where the Vikings and the dragons are continuing to live peace together. But when Berk are overpopulated by dragons, Hiccup has remembered that when he was a little boy, his father told him about the hidden world, while Toothless discovers a female white dragon called the Light Fury, and eventually starting to fall in love with the beautiful Light Fury. So Hiccup decided to tell his people to leave Berk and take their dragons to find the hidden world where the dragons can be safe, and at the same time they have to fight and face their new enemy, Grimmel, a dragon trapper who wants to capture all the dragons. I find the story of this film to be very clever. Although there are a few silly moments, there are actually some exciting moments, funny moments, and heartwarming moments as well. The animations in this film are excellent as always. I really like how they animate both the human characters and the dragons on their facial expression and how they move and behave. The landscapes, the waterfall, and the oceans are very unique to look at. I also like how they use computer animation to create the buildings, the ships, the weapons, the armors, the fire, the lightning, the clouds, and the cages. The Hidden World looks so magnificent to look at because it kind of reminds me of Pandora from James Cameron's Avatar. The action scenes in this film are so fun and exciting to watch. I really do enjoy seeing the fight scenes, the chase scenes, and the rescuing scenes. Now let's get to the actors who voiced those characters as well as the directing and music. Jade Baruchel, as always, did an incredible job doing the voice of Hiccup. Hiccup, of course, is the son of Stoke and Volka, that is now the newly crowned chief of Berk, and a dragon trainer who was responsible for causing both the Vikings and the dragons to have peace with each other. In this film, Hiccup has planned, along with his friends and allies, to send their dragons to the hidden world, and at the same time, help Toothless attract the Light Fury. Also returned from the first two films is Astrid, voiced by America Ferrera, Gobbler the Ballad, voiced by Craig Ferguson, Snout-Out, voiced by Jonah Hill, Fish Legs, voiced by Christopher Mintz-Plasse, and the Thorson twin, voiced both by Kirsten Wiig and now Justin Ruppel. Astrid is an excellent fighter, and now in this film is Hiccup's fiancée. Gobbler, Snout-Out, Fish Legs, and the Thorson twin are funny characters as well as close friends and allies with Hiccup and Astrid, who wanted to help out. Coming back from the second How to Train Dragon film is Valka, voiced by Cate Blanchett, and Eret, voiced by Jon Snow himself, Kit Harington. Valka is Hiccup's mother and dragon rescuer, is now living on Berk after 12 years of isolation. Eret used to be a dragon trapper from the second film, but now decided to join the Dragon Riders after he had a change of heart during the events of the second film. As for the new villain Grimmel, voiced by F. Murray Abraham, who has been in movies like All the President's Men, Scarface, Last Action Hero, Star Trek Interaction, Finding Forrester, the Grand Budapest Hotel, and Easily of Dogs, I think he's kind of an interesting villain who is an infamous dragon hunter that is smart and enjoys hunting and capturing dragons, even with the help of his allies from other nations. However, while Grimmel is somewhat a very menacing villain, he's not nearly as menacing as Drago from How to Train Your Dragon 2. Hiccups' father Stoke, voiced by Joya Butler, who is of course best known as King Leonidas in 300, only appeared in a flashback scene in this film. Dean DeBolis still did a very good job directing this movie, as he did with the first two How to Train Your Dragon films, especially he made this film beautiful looking. The music composed by John Powell sounds very adventurous. The song Together from Afar, sang by this Icelandic singer, sounds very nice and peaceful. I enjoy listening to this song the same way I liked that song Where No One Goes from the second How to Train Your Dragon film, which ironically sang by the same singer. So overall, this is a splendid conclusion to this trilogy. I actually loved this film the same way I loved the second film, and I enjoyed it more than the first film. I also enjoyed this movie more than the Lego Movie 2, the second part. Even though I liked the Lego Movie Part 2, but to be honest, not as wonderful and fresh as the first Lego Movie. Much like Kung Fu Panda 3, it did a way better job than the disappointing Shrek the Third. I'm actually very glad that Universal bought DreamWorks, because DreamWorks Animation has not been doing that great in recent years, even though they have made some animated films that are successful, but luckily, DreamWorks Animation has finally improved right now. Anyway, if you're a fan of How to Train Your Dragon, go see it. It's a very wonderful film for the whole family. So I give this movie 4.5 out of 5 nuclear bombs.